All right, folks. In breaking big news, we have Donald Trump pulling out of the World Health Organization, withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization, as well as creating a board of peace, which is a big FU to the United Nations. I mean, huge seismic changes happening. Really death blows to the New World Order. Correct, Juanito? Juan, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, it's it's like when Trump was in New York and there was this ice skating rink, and for years this thing was under repair. It was going to be, fixed, whatever. People loved to use that ice skating rink. It just sat there in the park and unusable. And at some point, Trump, of course, he's got developments in the area, and it affects his property values and rents and things like that. So at a certain point, he just took it into his own hands and got it fixed. It just took a few months. They were arguing over, costs and where the money was going to come from. Nobody cared. He just went in and fixed it. This is similar with what's going on, let's say, with Gaza. The UN's been involved there forever. UN first recognized Israel as a nation in '48, all part of a Rockefeller operation scam. And Rothschilds, the Balfour Declarations put together by them. You got all sorts of weirdness going on, in that Mideast region. And part of it's because you have a secret handshake club that wants to start World War III the way they verse it. It's World War IV, really. We won World War III. Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. But at the end of the day, they want to have a world war based out of the Mideast. What Trump's doing is he's going in and bypassing all of their little control mechanisms to keep everybody fighting each other, and trying to move everybody to their corner, and then come up with a way that region can pay the bills to actually help people from the region that can't get along. They'll try to move them out, but instead of just him making the decision, he's bringing in a lot of the players from other places around the world and get them all involved and have a team effort. It's the only way you're probably going to get these things resolved
these are massive death blows to the New World Order, correct? When you go right here, it says Trump's board of peace, which could upend world order, faces pushback from allies.
Yeah, it's what he's doing is, again, he's bypassing the existing secret handshake crowd and their way of manipulating, controlling fate, outcome, whatever, and moving us to a something that has a prayer of actually bringing peace. He wants to win the Nobel Peace Prize directly, as opposed to just being it handed to him by somebody, because he is trying to stop the wars all over the world, and that's part of, going at the underlying root causes and mechanisms that cause these dramas across the world. So good on him. And then he announced the death of globalism there at Davos, and right to the crowd that's pushing it. And so he's right in their face. You guys want globalism? No, you want to work with us to try and do something honest, real, to bring the world to a good, if you will, new world order. Okay, well, that's going to be
so does this mean
interest competing? It's not everything in one big bowl. It's everybody working for the strong friends, not destroying all the lines between nations, but strengthening them. Good friends make strong neighbors. Okay, if you got good friends, then you got great neighbors.
Does this mean that now this is a huge threat to the New World Order, the World Economic Forum, Davos, the whole crowd? What do they have to do now, Juan? What's the next?
Well, yeah. Well, this is just a continuation of the fight that has been Trump all the way along. This is why these people hate him so bad. He went there and met with those folks, Davos, but probably 99% of the people there are all hoping and praying and dreaming that something happens to his plane. Okay, they all hate him
almost
because
did.
he's going against their globalist ambitions, their unelected globalist ambitions. So, that's the fight we're in.
But what about what could they do now? What would be their plan of attack, Juanito? I mean, are they going to? I mean, obviously they got to do something desperate now, right?
Yeah, they have to do something pretty desperate. It's been continuing. They continue to be dangerous because of Trump is taking down their system or systems decisively. So, yeah.
Do we make? I know you're pressed for time, and I just want to let my audience know that he's very pressed for time right now. He's meeting a tow truck, folks. So, Juanito, do you think? Yeah, you know, he bought himself some nice cars, but I don't think he wants to show them on video just yet, or he might want to. I don't know. But
well, I don't make a big deal out of some of the stuff. I have some fun. I tell you what, it allows me to have some pose at times from other things, and so it gives me a little bit of mental break from time to time. You can see there's my little let's see, I don't know, you can't, the StreamYard's too zoomed, I guess, but there's my little Beamer drop top. This is my 57 Chev here.
Oh, nice, man. So you're gonna put some work into that sucker.
Well, I'm not going to do anything to the body. I'm going to keep it exactly like it is.
That's cool.
We have a really nice little 283 to put in there, and it's just it's farm truck.
Oh, great. So Juan, so this is big breaking news. Obviously, the Board of Peace. What does the Board of Peace effectively do to the United Nations? It basically says,
well, it bypasses it. That's the key, is that you can't get to justice within a lot of these organizations, including the UN and like that. They're just everything they do helps to keep the fight going, and so by doing something where you bring in other people, it's like Doge. They go out there. Everybody knew about all the corruption within USAID, but nobody was trying to throw a monkey wrench in there. As long as the money is flowing, it was never going to stop. And so by bringing other people in and having a different attitude on it, you can maybe get to some kind of a solution. So that's what's going on here. So, by the way, we can go four-wheeling out there with the stuff. Yeah. See, so there's that's to go out through the sand dunes.
Are we really going to do that? And we're going to record it?
Yeah. Let's go out there. Yeah, I'm going to try and get this ready. We'll go out and go through the sand dunes. You can take your four-wheeler and I'll take mine.
Okay, yeah, there's some heavy dunes, man. It's like 90-degree angles, man. You know what I mean?
You think cool. I can't take you on with this?
Yeah, let's roll. Let's do it. Let's have some fun, and we'll record it on Instagram, or we might go live on YouTube. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. All
right, so this is good news. These are seismic changes. I just wanted to update my audience.
Well, let me hold on. Let me add one thing. I want to make this relevant for the audience. Okay, so part of the thing for Trump is that he has to somehow move into the next zip code. People see him doing this stuff around the world, making a difference around the world, but they don't see it here at home. We haven't had the arrests. He talked at Davos about the fact that coming.
Let me just make a good point to that.
And
let me make a good point to that. I went on Bloomberg to see the highlights of the Davos speech. And that's the one highlight they left out, was that anybody that was a part of the rigged 2020, you know what, will be prosecuted. They left out of all the highlights, Bloomberg left that one strong message out, which tells me they don't even want to give it any attention right now. They don't even want to shine a light towards that direction.
Yeah, that's part of the problem, is that you got Trump is pointing out he's coming back to the States. Part of the problem is the perception of this audience and other audiences is that, you know, nobody's been arrested yet. Not the big ones within the election stuff. I understand that 𝗀𝗃𝗃 is going to release some stuff as soon as tomorrow that's just epic. It's mind shattering, going to the 2020 election, and it has repercussions back to Russia also. There is an important meeting tomorrow that's taking place concerning stuff going on over at the Justice Department and the inability to move forward at the Justice Department. It's just totally dysfunctional. A lot of great folks there that are just, locked up. So with that in mind, how is Trump going to break out of the mire that is in place here domestically? And for several months now, the word has been, don't look to the Justice Department for the solution. It's going to come from elsewhere. And I think that's still accurate.
Any chance of the Ukraine-Russian war ending soon?
Well, Trump's trying to fight on all fronts to stop, the killing, the fighting. We've talked about that for a long time here. That's Trump sees part of his mission in life is to just stop the killing, and then we can figure out, what's appropriate, fair, whatever, between all the various groups. And he's not dropping his guard. It's like his mission from God. And you got a lot of people that I'm actually not throwing stones at them. You got a lot of people that are actually great patriots that don't see Trump and the people around him as good guys because stuff hasn't happened the way they think it should happen up to this point in time. My only response back is we're in a type of a global conflict that the way out of this is not a straight line, in curved space. It's not a straight line. The shortest distance is a curved line a lot of times. And so you have to work through a lot of these issues, including globally, including, by the way, neutralizing, neutering this globalist crowd, this Davos crowd, this World Economic Forum crowd. World Economic Forum, just so that people remember, they were bragging about the fact that they put $1 billion a year into Ukraine to foment the Orange Revolution. That Ukraine war, that attack on Russia, was fomented with $1 billion a year campaign out of World Economic Forum. And then, by the way, let's just go back. You mentioned who? In the 70s and 80s, we were all, if you go back, my buddy Larry Abraham and some of the guys back in that time period, we all knew what WHO was all about, what a disaster it was. And when AIDS came on the stage in the early 80s.
Be careful here because it is YouTube.
Okay. We knew, and there was lots of discussion that can be searched by people, the true origin and propagation of that. And, we actually had a joke, who started that whole thing? Well, good question. Okay. Yeah. And that was, it was a statement, not a question. So the short version is that within this audience, what Trump is doing is he's going after a lot of these hidden hand operations, going to the core, and that makes him a threat to them. These are forget nation states, China, Russia, Ukraine, Israel. These are stateless in the sense that they're everywhere. It's Spectre, literally like a James Bond movie, operating in plain sight, just hidden from sight through a lot of these other operations, moving and manipulating to bring about their version of a new world order. And at some level, the
So
fight
is it
back
now
is
the Trump world order?
well, at some level, he's not even afraid to say that. It's sometimes you have to put a brand on something. And as I've said, I have the Megador imagery, Trump as the Megador. And the point is, you are taking on the bull. Many of these people are literally given over to evil that loves to portray itself as the bull. Classically in history, through the different civilizations. And so taking on that deep state bull, which is the oldest story in stone, is the tale of Gilgamesh, where a bull fell out of heaven. And then this god king had to take it on to protect everybody. And by the way, the bull on Wall Street was not so accidentally done the way it is. That just suddenly appeared on the street like it fell out of heaven. And nobody claimed credit for it because it was part of that Gilgamesh story that they wanted to push. And so it's important for people to realize there's a lot of imagery that may seem trite and playful and whatever, that's actually very, very, very real within the minds of those people that are pushing some of this stuff. So, food for thought.
Got it, Juan. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's go to ninoscorner.tv and do some more over there. I know you're busy right now. We'll try to do it this evening. Sound good?
I want to get ready for our four-wheeling.
Let's do it, man. All right, Juan. Thank you. Stay with me just for a second.
All right.